Hi everyone and welcome to Linger Longer with Books. My name's Catherine and in this week's video I'm going to be chatting through my July TBR with you. So let's go take a look. Now, I know many of you out there set a particular number of books to read each month. Some of you just sort of go with the flow and see what you get without any kind of numbers in your head. For me, my kind of comfortable reading number is one book a week. So you can imagine for each month of 2024, I'm sort of setting myself 4 titles that I would like to read through those weeks, and then that way that I feel that I'm not kind of putting too much pressure on myself, that I am still reading for fun and enjoyment rather than it being about numbers, which I know some people can kind of get fixated on. So most months you'll find me setting a TBR of 4, perhaps 5 if there are shorter books in the book stack, or I know that kind of some might be shorter audio books as well. So let's take a look at my first book. The first book for July is going to be A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second in the ACOTAR series. I read the first story in this series last summer, and I just feel like this will be a perfect summer holiday read for me in a couple of weeks. This is, as I said, the second tale. We've got Fere, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, is immortal. She has rescued her lover Tamlin from the sadistic fairy queen and now possesses fae powers beyond imagining. But Fere cannot forget the destruction she wrought to save her beloved, nor the bargain she made with Rhysand, High Lord of the feared Night Court. So I think that will just be a perfect kind of escapist, hopefully to enjoy whilst the sun is shining. So I shall let you know all about that one. The second of my July TBR is going to be One More Croissant for the Road by Felicity Cloak. This has been on my TBR for a little time now, probably last couple of years. I'm determined to get to this. This is an old library copy that I picked up from Fareham Library for just sort of donate what you want. So I just sort of flung in all the loose change that I had in my purse, which nowadays don't carry much cash or coins. So I was really grateful to find this on the sale trolley at Fareham Library, like I said. This book is not fiction, it is non-fiction, and it's kind of like a bit of a food memoir, and it says, land of glorious landscapes and even more glorious food, France has built a place for cycling and for eating too. It's a country large enough to give any journey an epic quality, but with a bakery on every corner. Here you can go from beach to mountain, Atlantic to Mediterranean, Polder to Pyrenees, and taste the difference every time you stop for lunch, if you make it to lunch, that is. And it says part travelogue, part food memoir, all love letter to France. One More Croissant for the Road follows the nation's taster-in-chief Felicity on her very own Tour de France as she cycles 2,300 kilometres across France in search of culinary perfection. So that sounds like a really kind of enjoyable book to read whilst I'm in France. I kind of always think that's quite nice and quirky to do if you can, is to read a novel or a non-fiction pick in the location or the country that you're visiting at the time. So that would be quite a nice thing to do, and it's not too long. This is our book club pick for the end of the month for my book club, the Never Ending Story book club. We meet once a month in my local area, so yeah, I'll be interested to kind of see what this is like, and then obviously get people's opinions and thoughts at the end of the month when we meet up face to face. So there's that one. Next, so my third pick for July is going to be The Wilds by Sarah Pearse. I was lucky enough to pick up this proof copy when I was at Capital Crime a few weeks ago now. I've really enjoyed Sarah's The Sanatorium. So I am really interested to kind of dive into a completely different landscape and setting with the wilds, which is her next novel, and it is out later this month. So it felt like a really, really good time to read it. It's out the 16th of July. So let me just share a little bit about this one. It says, after the dark events that scarred her childhood, Keir Templar escaped her hometown and twin to live her life on the road. They've never lost contact until on a trip to a Portuguese national park, Keir vanishes without a trace. Detective Ellen Warner arrives in the same park, ready to immerse herself in its vast wilderness, only to hear about Keir's disappearance and discover a disturbing map she left behind. So you can imagine the kind of the mystery and the unsettling kind of circumstances that surround that and what ensues. So I'm really looking forward to just kind of getting lost in a really good thriller, but set in as it says, Portuguese National Park, which I don't think I've ever kind of come across before. So yeah, really looking forward to reading that one. Then my fourth and final TBR for July, but certainly last but not least, is Murder on Lake Garda by Tom Hindle. I was lucky enough to meet Tom again at Capital Crime a few weeks ago, and he was lovely. I'm a big fan of Tom's writing. I loved A Fatal Crossing. It was so clever and completely original, and just lapped every sort of detail of his debut up. I've also read The Murder Game, which was really nice and refreshing for something completely different, where authors are just not scared of kind of being quite brave with settings, the cleverness of plot devices and character kind of realizations. So this one, I thought, well, like Lake Garda, Italy, that is going to be perfect for July. And on the front cover, it says, a destination wedding, a guest with a killer secret. So on the back, it says, one happy couple, two divided families, a wedding party to die for. On the private island of Castello Fiore, surrounded by the glittering waters of Lake Garda, the illustrious Hayward family gathers for their son Lawrence's wedding to Italian influencer Eva Bianchi. But as the ceremony begins, a blood-curdling scream brings the proceedings to a devastating halt. With the wedding guests trapped as they await the police, old secrets come to light and family rivalries threaten to bubble over. Everyone is desperate to know who is the killer and can they be found before they strike again. So, I mean, look at those blue spreads as well. This sounds like it will perfectly kind of grip me in the best of ways. It'll just sweep me along the shores of Lake Garda in amongst all the drama that Tom has written for us all to enjoy. So there you go. These are my four, if I can just get them from my book trolley. These are my four July TBRs. Let me know if any of them are on your radar, if you've read any of these before. I think if you are out there and you've watched this far, firstly, thank you very much for doing that. But if to let me know that you're out there, why don't you leave a Portuguese flag in honour of the wilds? But because I think we've had some various emojis, let's just go for something completely different. Let's go for a flag this time. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about my July TBR. Let me know in the comments below what books you'll be reading this month. But for now, happy reading. I hope to speak with you again next week for more kind of bookish updates and shenanigans. But until then, have a great week and take care. Bye.